I get people reaching out with this a lot. So basically they say, oh, I took this trade on USD at 1.08 and with a stop loss at X amount, and my take profit is at this point, 1.088, for example. And now price is at like a little bit below that, and they want to short exit and the take profit is at 1.088, and price is now at 1.087. So they're close to take profit, and they wonder what they should do. Should they exit the trade now to make sure this trade doesn't go to a loss? Should they let it run, or what should they do about it exactly? And I want to kind of go into that in detail because it's a topic that affects a lot of people, including myself in the past. So I did some research. I asked people around what they would do in that case, and here's what I found out. First things first, the first one is just let your trade go. And that makes a lot of sense. Like, you've done your analysis in the past, you've looked at things, you understand what you've been doing, everything was like perfectly done. And so there's no reason to modify it or change your trade or close it before you take profit. It doesn't make any sense. And so you can just let it go and let it go to take profit, or let it go to a loss if it happens. That's possible, there's nothing wrong about it. And it makes a lot of sense. The second way you can approach things is by reducing your risk. And so that would mean, for example, so let's say your trade is open right now with $100 of profit. And what you would do is simply you would move your stop loss to higher or to break even to reduce the risk you have on the trade. If before your risk was $100 that you could lose, or even $200 because you could go back and loss, well, now you have like maybe only $50 of risk, and that's lower. So then you're able to kind of reduce your risk that way. And if things go wrong, you would lose less than right now what you have in the market. And the third option is quite similar, but that's reducing your size. And so it's a little bit different. Let's say you have one lot of trade open, so your position size is one lot. What you do is you simply reduce that. So let's say you close half the trade, where you only have like 0.5 lot now open. So you don't reduce your risk, but you reduce your size. A little bit different, pretty much the same outcome. So I was wondering what's the difference, and here it is. If you reduce your risk on a trade, basically if things go well, you'll have more profit. But if things go wrong, you lose more. So in both cases, it's like more. And if you reduce your size, when you win, you will win less. But if you lose, you will lose less because you've reduced your size. And so that's pretty much how things go. So both ways work, but you're able to kind of do whatever you prefer. And in my case, I would actually prefer reducing my size than my risk. But even then, it varies on the scenario and the type of trade and everything around, as well as, of course, the market condition at the moment. The fourth way you can deal with this, and that kind of like is something you should do pretty much all the time in all circumstances, is not to listen to any opinions out there. Not listening to what CNBC says or Bloomberg says or what your friend says or what your coach says. If you took a trade and you had the proper analysis, then there's no reason to close it or to do anything with it. And the thing is, if you look at a chart long enough, you'll find a reason to close your trade, and you'll find a reason to not be in that trade. And that's something you don't want to do, of course, because if you always look at the chart, you will find a reason for anything. You can justify anything by looking at the chart long enough, basically. That's just something you should do pretty much all the time. You should not listen to other people's opinion because they don't really matter. And you should not look at the chart too much on the spot in a trade to justify something. Now the last option, which is something that you might not want to do, but it makes sense sometimes, is to add to your trade. So let's say you have one lot open, then yeah, you can add like 0.25 lot in that trade, perhaps. And that's only if it makes sense, of course. But let's say you are in a trend, and the trend is going well, even though you close, you take profit. That doesn't mean you should exit the trade there. If a trend is strong, why not add to your positions? And that you only do, of course, when it's a winning trade. You never add to your losing trades. But at least you're able to kind of increase that size. And maybe you move your stop loss to break even on that previous trade, and then you add a new one that's of a lower size, and then you can increase your profit like this over time. And if things go well, then you can find yourself with a trade that has maybe 2 or 3 times the reward because you added size over time over the trend. And that's a way that works. I know a lot of people do this and they make a lot of money on their trades doing this. And of course, you never want to add to a losing trade, like I said, because that's where you will get crushed. If things go well, then yeah, make sure you don't lose more by moving your stop loss to break even. And then add a size with a lower risk. And make sure that your plan dictates when to not add to your positions, of course. So I hope that makes sense. These are the 5 ways you can deal with your trades when they're close to take profit. Let me know in the comments below your favorite one, which one you want to apply, and which one makes more sense for you. And as always, here are a few comments for past video. I appreciate you guys for leaving comments, as always, in the comment section. And if you want to learn how me and some of my students have been able to quit their job and eventually trade full-time, I'll leave a link below for you to check out my case study. So I explain basically what things I've done myself to be able to create freedom with trading and what some of my students did as well. So link below for that, check it out, and let me know your thoughts as always. And I'll catch you back here in the next video. Ciao.